Hey everyone. Today we're taking a whole new perspective on the legendary journey of the Titanic. As we know, when the Titanic hit the iceberg, it led to a massive disaster. But what if, in this historically tragic event, Elon Musk had been on board? We're here with a scenario that will explore that question. So, if you're ready, let's dive in. April 14, 1912, midnight. From the depths of the ocean, only darkness and silence rose. The Titanic, gliding over this vast sea, was embarking on one of the greatest voyages in history. Lights illuminated the ship's deck as thousands of passengers enjoyed a peaceful night in luxury and grandeur. But unfortunately, this night would be remembered forever. When the Titanic struck the iceberg, time seemed to stop. A massive crash echoed across the deck, followed by violent tremors. Before passengers could grasp what was happening, the ship continued to shudder terrifyingly. Captain Edward Smith stood in the command room, all eyes fixed on him. The Titanic was unsinkable. Yet for the first time, uncertainty shadowed the captain's face. The chief engineer rushed into the room. "Captain, the iceberg hit the starboard side. 5 compartments are taking on water," he reported. The captain immediately examined the diagram. In that moment he understood how crucial every minute was. "This is a disaster," he muttered. "But if we can slow the spread of water, we might stop it." Just then one of the Titanic's passengers, Elon Musk, stepped forward. "Please allow me to offer a solution," he said. The captain, willing to consider any idea to save the Titanic, nodded. Elon quickly analyzed the situation and shared his thoughts. "The ship must not lose balance. If we shift the center of gravity, we can reduce the pressure from the water," he explained. The captain stared at him in surprise. "How?" he asked. "Move the lifeboats and heavy cargo to the back of the ship. This will weaken the effect of the water pressing against the bow," Elon replied. The captain hesitated but knew they had to act. He gave the order. The crew worked quickly to relocate the cargo to the rear of the ship, and for a brief moment the ship stabilized. But this was only the first step. A much tougher challenge lay ahead. The Titanic was still flooding, and the heart of the ship, the boiler room, was in grave danger. If the boilers came into contact with water, there was a risk of explosion. The chief engineer, alarmed, warned, if the boilers touch water, the steam pressure could cause a catastrophe. Elon thought for a moment before presenting a sharp solution. "We need to increase the capacity of the pumps," he said. The chief engineer immediately countered, "But these pumps are already operating at near maximum capacity. It's impossible to push them any further." Elon remained firm. "There's always a way. We can overcome this," he said, suggesting they use the power of the steam engines. However, the captain hesitated. "If the boilers can't withstand the increased pressure, the ship will be doomed," he warned. The chief engineer took a deep breath and added, "If the pressure rises too high, this ship will explode." For a moment, everything fell silent. No one spoke. Finally Elon, with quiet determination, said, "We won't let it explode. If we control the pressure correctly, we can solve this problem." The captain hesitated, then narrowed his eyes and nodded. "Let's try it," he ordered. Elon and the chief engineer worked on the ship's rear, managing the water evacuation process when suddenly, a trembling engineer rushed in. "Mr. Musk, we have a serious problem. As pressure builds in the pipes, the massive hole in the bow is expanding. Water is flooding in even faster," he reported. Elon immediately stopped to think. If the hole wasn't sealed, stopping the flooding would be impossible. This was the beginning of the end. "We must find a solution," he said, turning to the captain. "We need large steel plates." The captain thought for a moment and then revealed that the lowest level of the Titanic contained 5 layers of steel plates, and they could use 2 of them. It was a huge risk, but not as great as the risk of the ship sinking. Elon quickly instructed the crew to bring the steel plates to the damaged area. "If we act fast enough, we can block the water from entering," he said. As they worked to close the hole, the tension grew with every passing second. Fixing such severe damage usually took months, but here it was a matter of life and death within minutes. Using welding machines, they secured the steel plates tightly around the breach. In a near-miraculous feat of engineering, the hole was sealed. The crew reconfigured all systems according to Elon's plan. Now the only remaining issue was the internal water and the dangerous pressure it was creating. The captain gave one final order: push the steam engines to full capacity. Suddenly the entire boiler room shook. The hissing of steam resembled the roar of a mighty beast. The pump systems activated and the water began to be drained. But the pressure was still rising. An engineer screamed, "Captain, the pressure is at critical levels. If we continue, the boiler room will explode." Elon immediately intervened. "Release all excess pressure." A loud whistle echoed through the ship as excess pressure was vented. The pumps were operational. The hole had been sealed. The excess water was being expelled. But the Titanic still needed to reach the nearest port as soon as possible. The materials used were thin, light, and insufficient. They might not withstand the pressure of the ocean, and water could begin flooding in again. Dawn was breaking and the ship was approaching the shore. As the morning sun rose, the Titanic was still afloat. Captain Smith turned to Elon and said, "Mr. Musk, we did it." Elon gazed at the horizon, took a deep breath, and replied, "With God's will, we succeeded. If you apply the laws of physics correctly, you can harness the limitless potential of the universe to your advantage." His voice carried conviction and vision, making every word more powerful. The captain smiled slightly. "And you must never lose hope," he added. And so the Titanic was saved from disaster. Babies, children, young and old alike narrowly escaped one of history's greatest tragedies. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to share your thoughts about this story in the comments. Your ideas might just inspire our next video. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next content. Take care.